Bonjour tout le monde. Our math lesson this week is going to be about patterns. So we've talked about patterns in the class a little bit this year already, and this week will be a bit of a refresher and an opportunity to apply the knowledge that we've learned in class. So, aujourd'hui, on va faire une petite activité avec la suite. Now we know that patterns are when we see things repeat, la répétition les attributs of certain attributes. So in class we talked about using patterns in music when we have tap, tap, arrête, tap, tap, arrête, tap, tap, arrête. It's a pattern, there's something that's repeating. Tap, tap, arrête is the piece, la cœur, the core of the pattern, that is always repeating. Madame de Lima can go tap, tap, tight, tap, tap, tight, tap, tap, tight. Now I wonder if you know, si tu sais, qu'est-ce qui vient après? What comes after if I go tap, tap, no, désolé, tap, tap, tight, tap, tap, tight, tap, tap, tight. What comes next? Can you try it? Peux-tu essayer? It goes tap, tap, tight. Good. So we learned that a pattern is when we have something that repeats, qui répète. In this week's activity, you get to play around with patterns on some Easter worksheets sur les pages, les fiches de Pâques. Mais j'aimerais que tu vas trouver des suites dans ta maison. Before you do any of those activities, try to find patterns, les suites dans la maison. So I have some patterns here. I did a bit of a chasse au trésor, a little scavenger hunt, and I found les suites, les objets qui ont la suite, pattern, la répétition, dans ma maison, in my house. So one of the things I found, the first thing I found is this big pillow, un oreiller, a big pillow. This is what sometimes we sit on a s'asseoir. Now I wonder if you look at it, do you see a pattern in suite qui se répète, a pattern that repeats? Ce que j'ai vu, je vois qu'il y a un motif comme ça avec les triangles, un motif or a pattern avec les triangles, et après il y a une barre rouge. Il y a un groupe de triangles, barre rouge. Le triangle, barre rouge. So we have something repeating. La cœur de la suite, the core of this pattern that's repeating all the time is triangle rouge. Triangle rouge. So it's almost like the designer took this and stamped it over like that. In terms of using shapes, no shapes. Shapes, no shapes. So actually there's not triangle, silly Madame de Lima. These are diamants, they're diamonds. So it goes diamant, okay, les diamants, section rouge. Diamant, section rouge. Diamant, section rouge. See, even Madame de Lima makes silly mistakes. Les diamants, I'm sure you probably caught that. So that's one object, un objet de la maison qui a la suite. The next one is, let's see if you can decide. Madame de Lima started taking her summer clothes out, mes vêtements d'été. Et j'ai trouvé cette petite blouse. Here's a little blouse de Madame. Now, est-ce que tu peux voir la suite qu'ils ont utilisé pour fabriquer le gilet that they used to make this? I'm gonna hold it up. Est-ce que tu connais la suite? La suite sera bleu. Il y a une ligne bleu, blanc, bleu, blanc, bleu, blanc. So if I bring it closer, tu peux voir. C'est bleu, blanc, bleu, blanc, bleu, blanc. So you see they use the colors, les couleurs se répètent, are repeating on this one. Very cool. J'ai trouvé aussi une cravate, Monsieur de Lima's cravate. Et tu peux voir ici, ils ont utilisé les couleurs pour créer une suite. Donc, ça commence avec le bleu, vert et les rayures bleues. Vert. Bleu pâle, vert, les rayures bleues, vert. Bleu pâle, vert, les rayures vert. Alors, il y a une suite ici. J'ai trouvé une autre suite sur ma ceinture, on my belt. So you can see ici, c'est comme ils ont créé une une fleur ou une étoile, maybe a star, a kind of star-like design or a flower design. Et ça se répète, it repeats. This exact same thing repeats, repeats, repeats. Donc, on a une suite. Okay, so now that we can identify patterns, maintenant qu'on peut reconnaître la suite, the next activity is learning how to label them and how to identify them. So ici, j'ai une ligne de suite. I have a pattern here. Let's look at numéro 1. Je vois la couleur bleu, violet. Bleu, violet. Bleu, quelle couleur va aller sur la première place? Which color will be next? So we got violet, désolé. On a bleu, violet. Bleu, violet. Bleu, violet. I'm sure you already know, tu sais déjà. Violet. And then we know the next one will be bleu, and the next one will be violet encore. So I can fill it in right now. Et bleu, violet, bleu, violet, bleu, violet, bleu. Here comes bleu. Voila. So in this pattern, we would call this pattern une suite de A, B. Okay, there's the pattern's core. Because if we name the first color A, and the next one we name B. Oops, trying to do this on my phone. A, B, then bleu is going to go back to A. The next one will be, oops, there. B. And I can name all of my bleus A, because they're all the same. A. Et je peux nommer tous les violets B. And if we look at the core, la cœur de la suite, the section that's repeating, qui se répète, est ici. Okay? La section qui se répète est A, B. A, B. A, B. So we've identified la cœur, the heart of the pattern, and we've named the pattern, we've labeled the pattern as une suite de A, B, an A-B pattern. Now ici, nous avons une différence. The next one's a bit more complicated. Let's read it first out loud and see if we can hear, écouter la suite. So we have triangle, triangle, cœur. Triangle, triangle, cœur. Triangle, triangle, cœur. Quelle sera la prochaine forme? What will the next shape be? So we have, let's label it now. We have the first part of our pattern, the first shape, we'll label A. We always start at the beginning. A. Come on. A. Now, another triangle, so we have to put une autre A. And then we have a new shape. We're going to call that one B. There you go. And triangle. What did we name our triangle? What's the letter we associate with triangle? We associate A. 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 B. A. A. B. So the next one will be A. And if we look at what our A shape is, la forme pour la lettre A is un triangle. So we know triangle goes next. So this pattern, cette suite, est une suite A, A, B. This is our, jeez, on essaie encore, B, voilà. Et le cœur de la suite, the heart of the core of the pattern, le cœur sera ici. Car ça c'est la section qui se répète. That's the core that repeats itself. Qui se répète. Se répète. So in the activities for this week, again, you do not need to print out these worksheets that are online. You can, actually some of you have, I'm not really sure how, but some of you have figured out a way to directly write on top of these digitally, which is awesome. So you can fill out these forms by writing it digitally, saving it, and sending it back. You can print them to do it. You can also just make patterns of your own and have your child practice labeling the patterns with the core. With an AB, sometimes you might have an ABC, ABC, ABC pattern. Sometimes you might have a B, B. So you can play around with it. You could even make your own patterns using materials. Like you can put like a fork, fork, spoon, fork, fork, spoon. See if you can label that. But this is the activity that the resource we provided this week. You're welcome to use it. So there's two different ones. This one, we'll look at the first one. So you'll see, le dessin c'est lapin, FF. Lapin, FF. So we've got lapin, FF, egg. Egg, F means egg, egg means F. So lapin, FF, lapin, FF, lapin sera le prochain. Quel de le dessin, which of these pictures, quel de le dessin sera la prochaine, le prochain motif. Okay, and similarly to this one you can color as well to make it interesting and more colorful and beautiful for Easter. Mais c'est un F avec les lignes, un F avec les cercles. F ligne, F cercle. So what is the pattern you're seeing? A, B, A, B, A. What will be the next one? Labeling does sort of help them understand and listen for the patterns, especially when they're more complex. I would recommend the second page mostly for SKs. Okay, the second resource that we've provided is just a worksheet, like a blank page with an Easter egg on it, an œuf de Pâques, which you can decorate using patterns. So Madame de Lima here made a pattern. J'ai dessiné un œuf de Pâques. I made an Easter egg and I started to decorate it using une suite, a pattern. And you can see my Easter egg is not perfect, but that's okay because I tried my best and I like it anyways. Donc, j'ai commencé avec les étoiles, les petits cercles et les triangles. Étoiles, les petits cercles et what shall be next? So if I go A, B, C, A, B, C sera ici. And I can draw my triangles, mes triangles. Maybe you want to design un œuf de Pâques using different colored stripes, but try to encourage your children to actively try to create a pattern and to identify it. So the way I would identify it would be to say, okay, ma suite est triangle, cercle, étoile, cercle, triangle, étoile, cercle, triangle, étoile, cercle, and then I would put triangle. And then to take it a step further, you can ask them to describe it using the letters. So the first motif is A, the second one is B, then we got C. So we got A, B, C, A, B,